And thanks for joining us for 9 News at 10. I'm Tom Green.
And I'm Kim Christensen. This week marks 4 years since one of Colorado's largest wildfires, the East Troublesome Fire.
9 News reporter Rachel Krause is with us now. And Rachel, the hot, dry conditions are once again stretching into the fall. That has some people worried about what that means for our wildfire risk right now.
Yeah, those hot, dry conditions, warm days stretching late into October has a lot of people feeling nervous. But experts say there are some big reasons why right now we're nowhere near the same risk level we saw 4 years ago. When the East Troublesome Fire first started, it spread quickly, killing 2 people and destroying more than 350 homes. 9 News Weather Impact Team meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen says part of the reason why these conditions became so dangerous so fast was because the monsoon season that year was a no-show. That and the winds.
Another thing that was very unusual about the 2020 wildfire season was the winds. We have not seen anything near the winds that we saw in 2020, and they're quite frankly not in the forecast.
And despite hot, dry conditions lingering this fall, Reppenhagen says we're in a very different spot now than in 2020 for fire risk, thanks to the monsoons.
The mountains started to get rain, and they started getting consistent rain, and they started getting good rain, and that lasts the entire month of August, and that is the difference here.
But climate change means the risk of fire is now something Coloradans need to be wary of year-round.
We have seen wildfire danger hang on later and later into the year. The large forest fire danger starts to come down in the fall, but the grass fire weather, day-to-day weather starts to increase. And so that leaves the wildland-urban interface open to a year-long fire season. And unfortunately now, that's where a lot of Coloradans live.
Just how much climate change is impacting our weather and in what ways is tough to measure. For now, Reppenhagen says they're keeping a close eye on the patterns and staying vigilant to keep people safe.
You just can't let your guard down for a second when it comes to wildfires in Colorado.
And while our conditions right now aren't quite as concerning as back in 2020, dry air, winds, and high temperatures are something we can see in Colorado at any time. Reppenhagen says you can't tune out wildfire season now for a second. Rachel Krause, 9 News.
It was a little bit cooler today, still pretty summer-like this afternoon. We are looking for some real fall-like temperatures at some point, so we're going to turn to 9 News Weather Impact meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen for a timeline at least.
Yeah, you know, we do have a storm system coming up this weekend, and like we know, ahead of that storm system, we'll watch for elevated wildfire danger as the winds and the dry air kick up, and that'll be Wednesday and Thursday. We'll watch and see how those winds pan out. Looks like we could be in the 40-mile-per-hour range, which would bring out a few red flag warnings, but nowhere near what we saw in 2020 just yet on the board. These high temperatures that we saw today, pretty cool. Some people would even say it was a cold day, but check this out. It was even warmer up in the high country. Steamboat Springs, Kremling, Buny, all warmer than it was in Denver today. All those temperatures are above average. We'll have cool temperatures once again tomorrow, even colder. Our coldest temperature that we've had here in Denver so far is 39 degrees, and we could touch that, and we'll have more on the forecast about that storm coming this weekend in just a bit.
A man with guns and ammunition was arrested at a security checkpoint outside of a Donald Trump rally in Southern California last night. The Riverside County Sheriff's Department says a 49-year-old man from Las Vegas was driving an unregistered SUV with a fake license plate. They say he claimed to be a journalist. Well, deputies noticed the inside of the SUV was a mess, so a search uncovered weapons and ammo, along with multiple passports and driver's licenses with different names. The sheriff isn't sure what the man planned to do, but he says he believes his deputies prevented something bad from happening.
It's all going to be speculation about what his intentions were getting there. What we do know is he showed up with multiple passports with different names, an unregistered vehicle with fake license plate, and loaded firearms. If you're asking me right now, I probably did have deputies that prevented the third assassination attempt.
That man was released from jail last night on a $5,000 bond. He's expected to appear in court in January. The U.S. Attorney's Office says Trump was never in any danger. It says there's been no federal arrest made, but their investigation is ongoing.
Colorado State is limiting access to a building on campus after receiving reports of employees getting sick. CSU says employees working in 3 rooms within the physiology building have reported irritated eyes, congestion, sinus issues. The university says it's trying to identify and resolve any issues within the building. It's collected samples over the last several months, but haven't identified anything out of the ordinary. It has a third-party company conducting additional testing. CSU says it's temporarily relocated classes and lab spaces while it figures out what could be causing those symptoms.
Denver Public Schools is hosting its final round of closure and consolidation meetings this week. Over the last 3 weeks, the district has been holding community meetings to talk about how declining enrollment might affect schools. DPS has not put out the list of school closures yet, but parents are nervous. Some believe if the decision is based solely on enrollment numbers, Palmer Elementary may be on the chopping block, and that makes for a tough conversation that some parents are already choosing to have with their kids.
I'm frank with her about the fact that this is a real possibility, and it makes her emotional. She cries, and I get upset too, because really in a neighborhood like Hale, Palmer is the heart of the community, and when you lose that, you're going to be losing this amazing sense of neighborhood, this gathering spot for everybody. It would be a huge loss.
The district superintendent, Dr. Alex Marrero, is expected to present a list of schools to close or consolidate on November 7th. A DPS spokesperson says the initial plan was to develop that list over the summer and to present it this month. Now that has been delayed to next month.
A lot of people are flying in and out of DIA today. The airport expects today to be the second busiest travel day of the year so far. DIA estimates nearly 90,000 people will pass through the security checkpoints. They blame it on fall break for school districts. Lots of people also going to see the leaves in the mountains. The busiest day, both this year and on record, was July 7th. That's when TSA screened over 93,000 people.
To celebrate Fair Trade Month, a local artist is creating a mural in North Denver, trying to raise awareness about what fair trade is.
9 News reporter Angeline McCall has the story.
With a week's work from sunrise to sunset,
so it's a lot of layers.
this mural now tells a story.
No, I like to watch it all come together.
A story that represents how we get our food and how it should be done ethically through the work of local artist Chelsea Lewinsky.
It takes a lot to build up, especially on this textured wall because there's a lot of little holes in it, so you have to really push the paint in.
The mural outside of Lever's Locavore celebrates Fair Trade Month.
So I picked Salamatu, who is a 29-year-old woman who inherited her father's farm when he passed away. She also just has like this really strong entrepreneurial spirit, which I really connected to. And so I thought it would be really cool to, honor a woman who's just crushing it in the farming industry.
The farmer here is from West Africa, now represented in a mural in Denver.
It's just a representation of life, and I think honoring somebody who's quite literally growing life is a beautiful way to do that.
Chelsea also wants to represent the need for fair wages for the farmers who grow our food. Fair Trade America says in many cases, they don't earn enough to feed themselves and their families.
I think it all starts right here. It starts with us having the conversation and us even being able to talk about this mural and what it means to the community.
And when people walk by, Chelsea hopes it's a reminder of not just art, but knowing the importance of the story behind the food we buy.
I want people to feel inspired and proud of their local grocery store, to know that, we're all pushing for more ethical choices and our food choices and how we support farmers and, offer fair wages.
Fair Trade America commissions these murals every year during Fair Trade Month, which is October. This one in North Denver is due to a partnership between Lever's Locavore, Fair Trade America, and Hughes Kitchen, which actually uses the cocoa beans from the farmer in the mural to create their chocolate bars, which I hear are pretty good.
Oh, they sound good.
That's a great way to reach people. You know, you can't always buy time on TV, but a mural, people pay attention, notice it, and think about it.
Yeah, and something so beautiful as that, right? And so, yeah, Chelsea's been doing murals for a long time, so you can see her work all across Denver, but this one is pretty special too.
Wow, in about a week she gets it done. It's beautiful.
Yeah, done by tomorrow night, 1 week after starting.
Oh, wow. All right, thanks, Angeline.